Foul! Oh, shame! Gascoigne going to have a crack. He is, you know. Oh, I say!
Messi. Oh, brilliant skill from Lionel Messi. Surging forward with real menace here. Brilliant from Messi. Oh, what a goal that is!
Yes, good afternoon. Savva here from Football Heritage TV. Hope everyone is well wherever you are in the world. I know we get a lot of people from a lot of different countries. The Premier League is back. Thank God the Premier League is back. Some really good games this weekend. You got West Ham United at home to Man City, Arsenal away to Everton, Tottenham Hotspur at home to Sheffield United, Man United at home to Brighton. There's some good games going on. Who will win? Who won't? Who's going to be able to turn around their season? Who's going to continue to slump? Can Newcastle get out of the funk they're in after 3 defeats in a row? Can Spurs and West Ham and Arsenal continue their good performances? And will Man City make it 5 out of 5? However, today is a call-in show. Today is a Q&A show. People can call in. It'll be one at a time. I will put the link in the chat. All the usual rules apply. Have something to talk about. Please have something to talk about. If you're coming on, have a question to ask or a subject that you want to discuss, we can discuss it. Everyone else in the chat can discuss it with us. And you must have your name in the title, and you must have your camera on. I don't care. Even if I know you, I will not let you on without your camera. So we'll put the link in the chat. And then if anyone does want to come on. Now, if lots of people come on, there might be some time when you're on in the background waiting to come on. So please just be patient. Yes. And as Proud to be a Geordie has mentioned, I should have mentioned that as rule number 1. Please have your clothes on. Big up. There is the link in the chat. So here it is. Here is the link. Yes, you do need to have your camera on. I need to see the people I'm speaking with. It's not wine, by the way. It's not wine. Big up. Let's go to the first person. Big up to absolutely every one of you, by the way. The usual rules apply. Come on, smash that like button. We now as well. We're only one subscriber away from 11,100. So if anyone would like to be that nice person that just says bum bum, then that would be absolutely great. Before we get to the first person, here is fast becoming one of my favorite members of my channel is Top Gooner. Absolutely love this character. I said, why is Spurs a small club? Top Gooner, why are Arsenal a club that blow an 11-point lead in the title race? I've got questions for days as well as you. So the link is in the chat. Clothes on, name in the box. Let's go to the first person. Join in the chat. Be respectful, please. It's not easy for people who don't always come on screen to come on screen. People like myself, I'm used to it. It's what I do for a living. Other people, not so much. So please show them support and get behind the topics and the questions. So the first person I'll add on will be by my man, Yuvraj. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I got the new Liverpool shirt. It's the third kit today.
And
so, yeah.
How attractive it is as well in purple. What a lovely kit.
Yeah, I got the home kit last year, so I just switched it with the away kit. But,
nice.
Yeah. Today I just want to talk about our game versus Wolves tomorrow. So it's a half-top kickoff, and I hate half-top kickoffs. Justin, I do hate half-top kickoffs, especially Liverpool, because we can't win half-top kickoffs. If you see on the record last season, hey, we hate half-top kickoffs. But look, obviously Konate is back, which is big news because I don't think we would have. I think the back four. This is madness. Without Konate, our back four versus Wolves would have been Robertson, Konsa, Matip, and Gomez. I think that's enough to beat Wolves, but thankfully we got Konate back. So yeah, I mean, I'm expecting a win versus Wolves. I mean, I know it's half-top, and I hate it, but I think obviously apparently Darwin and McAllister and Diaz are not coming training as well because they're going to come back tomorrow. I think we need them 3. I will start. I mean, my lineup for Wolves game will just be quick in my prediction before I let other people in. I'll do Alisson, Trent's not available, so just start Gomez at right back, Matip, Konate, Robertson. Midfield, just do a midfield of McAllister, Sabostai, and Curtis Jones. I wouldn't start Gravenberch yet. I don't think I'll bring him on at like 20 minutes to go. Let him be settled in. I wouldn't start him. I'll start him in the Europa League Thursday. I'll play a perfect fixture to start him in. And front three of Darwin, Diaz, and Salah. If Darwin's not fit, start Gakpo. That's what I would do. But my score prediction for the game, I'm gonna say 3-1 win. I think we're gonna concede, but we're gonna have enough. But yeah.
So it's at Wolves, right? It's at Wolves.
Yep.
Yeah. But I mean, listen, you've started well. 10 points from 12 points is a good start. I know nowadays it seems that if people don't win every single one of their first 4 games, that it's not a good start. But you have started well. You haven't always played the best, but you still managed to get the win. I mean, Newcastle would be the biggest example of that. If you win this game, obviously you go on to 13 points from a possible 15. Yep. What are your hopes for the season? If you don't get top 4 this year, has that been a massive failure for Jurgen Klopp?
Yeah. I mean, for me, look, my standards are simple. Challenge for the league. Look, I don't expect us to win it. We know how good Man City are. I don't expect us to win it. Just at least challenge. Look, depends how you look at challenging, really. I think if you're challenging, if you stay until January. Now, if you drop off, there's no discussion. But for me, challenging is if you stay in until January. Just say you drop off, you don't win it. But at least challenge, win the Europa League. Should be simple. I know, not simple. I mean, saying like
I love this. Win the Europa League, nice and simple. Let's just lock that trophy in right now. I mean, you are the favourites. You are the favourites to win the Europa League. Are you expecting him to go strong in the Europa League, or are we expecting to see a bit of a mixture?
We're gonna have a mixture like that. I think Keller starts. Give Keller a game in Europa League. Give Konsa games. Give Matip, Gomez. Give Bajcetic games. Who was actually good last season. Just give him the games. Give Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott. I'll start maybe Jota because he's more of a, for me, you could start him in any game. He won't get injured. So, yeah, I think Europa League, I expect us to win. I think, look, like I said, for me, my expectations are simple. Challenge for the league. Get third or second. I don't think we're going to win the league. So, I think we challenge for the league, win the Europa League, and go far in one of the cups. And I would happily take that season. And yeah, that's personal expectation this season, very much.
I love that. So what I've just heard is challenge for the league. So be in a title race, win the Europa League, and go deep into one of the cups.
Yeah.
I like it. Good. So not tough expectations there on Klopp at all.
Nope. Look, like I said, I know these owners. These owners not back Klopp fully this summer. So I'm not going to say win the league because, like I said, we know Man City. Like, let's be real here. Let's be real. We know Man City is just that level above.
Yeah.
Unless we got Bellingham. If we got Bellingham and, a DM and a centre back, I would have said we could potentially win it. But I just don't see it. And maybe next season, because Man City could potentially drop off next season. But this season, no, I don't see it. Like, this season, just don't see it, personally. But, yeah.
Well, listen, Yuvraj, I wish your team the best of luck as much as possible. Yeah. I mean, it's really difficult to say that without everyone jumping on your back, but I've got nothing against Liverpool. I actually think that you guys will finish second or third. Yeah. So I think it will be a good race between you and Arsenal, if I'm brutally honest.
Yeah.
For that second or third place. But I wish you luck. And you said it's the 12:30 kickoff on Saturday, right?
Yeah. And it's annoying. I don't like half. But what it is, I don't know. I have a little feeling could be a draw. I don't know, a little feeling. I don't know. It's just a tiny feeling. I don't know. Maybe it's just the 12:30 kickoff pass because
I love this. We should go on a title run. We should win the Europa League, but you got a little feeling about a point.
I expect us to win. But,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, listen. Thanks for calling in, Yuvraj. I look forward to watching that game at lunchtime on Saturday. And for what it's worth, I think you will beat them 3-0. For what it's worth, I think that they're really poor. So good luck.
Yep. Thanks, Andy.
Big up. Take care, mate. Big up. Who's next in the chat? Just quickly smash the likes, people. Come on. As Richard, who's up in 2 people's time, said, let's have a like party. It's really simple to do. Just smash the like. It's almost like paying for a free product. This is free for you lot. This is my time and energy, my job, but it's free for you. Big up, Rinketic. How you doing, man?
Hello. I'm all right. How are you?
Yes, very well, thank you. Very well. It's nice. I'm much more excited this week now that the Premier League is on its way back. What is it you want to talk about, my man?
So I have 2 questions, or kinda. The first one, so there has been like a big story in the hockey world, but I can make it like in football perspective. So there's a manager who people don't like because he's kind of like a Jose Mourinho. Like
Okay.
there might be some toxicity and people don't might fell out with him, etc. And but he still played sorry, he still played like attacking type of hockey style. Do you think that's actually a bad manager, or is it like the player situation? Because well, it seems like many others want that like Southgate yes man, want to cuddle them and etc. But from my perspective, I rather have that like attacking manager who's more like Jose Mourinho, wins everywhere.
Well, look, it's for me two quite different things. I mean, I wouldn't go as far as to say that Jose Mourinho is an attacking manager.
No,
What I would,
if Jose Mourinho were an attacking.
oh, if he was,
Yeah.
yeah. Listen, look, I think it all comes back down to that age-old conversation between fans, isn't it? Is do you want to win, or do you want to play pretty, or do you want both?
Yeah.
Jose Mourinho, for me, I don't think he was ever as boring as everyone said. I mean, a lot of his teams broke records all over the place.
Yeah.
Even when he was at Spurs, I remember we scored loads of goals. I remember we scored loads and loads and loads of
Didn't we
goals.
have that like 7-1 against Man U, and even
Yeah,
Spain scored.
6. Yeah, we scored a lot of goals. I mean, listen, somewhat pragmatic as a manager, but I mean, let's be fair, managers like that won't get England jobs, etc. Because let's be honest, he's outspoken, and
Yeah,
people like the FA, they don't want that. They want the, let's be fair. Would Jose Mourinho have come out in defense of Maguire the way that Southgate did? And I'm not saying one is right or wrong, but that's what the FA would expect. Would Mourinho do that?
We can just have a look what he did with Luke Shaw and that fat shaming situation, and what he did with Pogba. Like he can't do that in the England job.
Yeah, no, absolutely, mate, absolutely. I mean, listen, Jose Mourinho has been one of the best managers the world has ever seen. Factually, I mean, listen, what people's personal opinions of him are is irrelevant. Really, it's irrelevant. He is factually one of the greatest managers of all time in terms of his achievements, but he is box office, right? He doesn't come and toe the line. He comes and makes the press conferences about him. He will fight to the death. He will fight his corner, but I don't know if that's what certain clubs and nations want.
And to be honest, I did some digging after that with like arguably the most successful managers over the last 20 years are Sir Alex, Jose, and Pep. And all of them had those like bad stories, like Beckham and the shoe story in the eye or whatever with Sir Alex, and then Kevin Phillips getting fat shamed and by Pep, and there will always be stuff, but I think it's about how you put a certain player or how they says things, etc.
Yeah, listen, I've got a feeling as well, by the way, that there is going to be so much that goes on in dressing rooms between managers and players that we don't hear. I'm guessing it's just the infamous ones that we do hear. There's been documentaries about Barry Fry, about Neil Warnock, and you've seen them going crazy and pushing players and screaming at them and swearing at them. And I can imagine it's like that up and down the country from every level of football. But
you were a former manager, right? Or you only had the badge? Aren't you a manager, or you only had the badges?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I just coached when I was younger. I did my coaching badges. Nothing to do with the management side of things. No. I was too young. And good looking for all that. Don't worry about that. But yeah, is there anything else you want to say before I get the next person on?
So I was also thinking about the stadium. In some perspective, the stadium could also have been like for us as a club, it was such a bad thing. But overall, maybe for the area, it could have been a good thing because they also give like job opportunity and I think it was like the most tourist attraction and whatever. And we can't like we have said before, like we can't argue like Daniel Levy is a good businessman, but still it's still that club perspective. Or what's your thoughts?
God, Daniel Levy, you're going to get me onto a really long-winded rant. No, listen, there won't be. What are you actually asking me? Like, what are you...
No. So like before with the old stadium, like it was good for the football side, but now with the new stadium, has it actually giving like more people job opportunities and that kind of stuff because it's a bigger franchise? Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, look, that the whole stadium thing is up for discussion, isn't it? Because there are people that said we had to move stadium to make more revenue, to compete with our competitors, to buy better players, to compete in Champions Leagues. I guess when you look at the actual business side of it as well, it does create more jobs. If you go to Tottenham Stadium on a match day, I wouldn't even, I don't know, people in the chat, hazard a guess, how many people will be working on a match day at Spurs' stadium? You think all the people on the ticket office, the people selling the food and the drinks and the stewards, working in the corporate lounges, there must be
even the field stuff. There's probably for sure. 50, 60 on that.
Absolutely, that's the thing. The stadium has caused multiple jobs, etc. I just listen. If I was to go deep with you about a conversation about my feelings on the stadium, we'd never be able to get anyone else in. But listen, thanks for coming on, my friend. I really appreciate your support. And and you have a good day. Take care. Next up, we have got, here we go. Look, I love this. Excited Richard. I love the name changes every week, my man. How are you?
Oh, yes, it's got to change every week. I've got to keep it going, haven't I? Got to keep it up. I am fantastic.
Good.
There's going to be one question I want to ask you, but there's a couple of things I want to get through first, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
Hit the like button, people. We've got to have a like party. This is this guy's business. Get on it. It's not hard. Click the button. It's right there. Same with the subscribe button. Click it. We all done it. Second, I want to give a massive shout out to a website called Match Worn Shirt. I got a call a couple of days ago from them saying that I'd won their competition for 4 tickets for the expensive seats for the next Spurs game.
Right.
Hospitality, that's the word I'm looking for. 4 hospitality tickets. Somebody else won it. They didn't take it. And then I was the next one. So I've never been to this stadium. I've only seen Spurs in competitive matches twice. One was at Milton Keynes Don Stadium when they played Watford in the League Cup. And the other one was away at West Ham when I was 18, which I didn't like because we lost 1-0 and we had Ferdinand scored. But I'm really, really excited. I don't win anything. Don't get my name pulled out for anything. So this is big for me.
Right. Okay.
I'm just buzzing that I'm able to get there on Saturday. But the question I've got is, nobody's asked it yet. What's your score prediction?
For Sheffield United?
Yeah.
3-0. 3-0. I think that, look, I always think with Spurs, there's a chance we'll concede because we're going to play so high up the pitch, and Sheffield United, listen, I'll be surprised if we don't have 68, 69% possession of the football, if I'm really honest. I think they will sit in. I think they'll hit us on the counter-attack. Realistically, though, this should be one of those games, and I know football doesn't work like this, but it should be one of those games that you're at home, you win 3-0, you move on, and you go, there's 3 points in the bag. That is what we should do. This is Tottenham. Have we turned that corner where we can comfortably say, yeah, don't worry, that's 3 points? The Spursy tag is always there somewhere. So can we get rid of that? Look, let me throw this back at you, Richard. If we were to win this game nice and comfortably, and you get 13 points from your first 15 available, and then your next game up is them lot down the road away from home, you set yourself up very, very nicely, haven't you? With confidence, with form, with just oozing kind of vibes to fit in with the youngsters of today, that vibe that everyone talks about.
Generally, I would agree, but I don't think when it comes to Spurs Arsenal that means anything. We've seen plenty of times where we've been absolutely atrocious, gone into North London derby and played the best football we've played all season. Vice versa with Arsenal as well. It's just one of those games that is completely unpredictable, regardless of whether you think somebody's on form, flying high at the top of the league or what, because players just turn up for that game. And if they don't turn up for that game, they shouldn't be playing for the club.
Yeah.
Just
quickly, yeah, I agree with you completely. By the way, people are saying how they join the show. I've putting in the link regularly. The link is going in. If you see Football Heritage TV putting in a link, it is the link for the show. You must have your name on. You must have your camera on, and you must be wearing a T-shirt that is advertising some form of crisps or snack. What a T-shirt that is. Yeah, look, you're right. I mean, look, I get it. North London derbies, any derby, form can go out the window. But it can't harm you, can it? Going in unbeaten, 13 points from 15 points is huge, right?
Well, there is overconfidence as well. You've seen teams that have gone in, we've done it ourselves, like where we've been flying, gone into a game that we should easily win, like Sheffield United.
Yeah.
And we're so overconfident that we don't play the football that we should be playing because they are more comfortable, they're more relaxed.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen with Ange. I don't think he's that kind of coach that's going to let people do that and sit on their laurels. So what happened with Richarlison? A couple of games, he wasn't scoring. He wasn't on form, losing the ball all the time. So he's out. Sonny's in. Solomon's on the left. There's a lot of players to be rotating up that forward line now. But yeah, I think at this stage of the season, which is pretty much every time we play Arsenal at the Emirates, isn't it, in September?
it's about that. Yeah, it's definitely about that.
It always seems to be after the international break, we're playing at the Emirates. But yeah, I'm quietly confident. It's one of those games that I think we can win, they can win. It can be a draw. But yeah, I'll see what we play like with my own eyes on Saturday. I think we'll have 5. I think we're going to put another 5 in there. I think
we could well do. I mean, let me ask you then. What's your prediction for the Arsenal game? I know it's easy. It's difficult to do, but away at their ground, they're going to be massively up for it. Ange is going to have us massively up for it. It's his reputation as well. It's his first North London derby. He'll understand what the derbies mean. What's your score prediction?
If everything stays the same, but there's no injuries to anyone within the next week or so, I think we'll sneak it 2-1. I think it'll be a highly competitive game. I can see at least one red card with the amount that these yellow cards are being thrown about anyway. And then you've got a hot environment like that. I think there's probably going to be at least one red card in the game. And I think we'll nick it at the end.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? There's so many yellow cards in football now. Like, honestly, fans scream for a yellow card for anything. Players scream for a yellow card for anything. Back in the day, you had to do something really bad to get a yellow card. now you just foul. Like every foul seems to be a card, and it never used to be that.
I'll tell you what. There's one thing that's been bugging me. So this season, it's all about dissent and delay of game, right? And those yellow cards are flying about. We saw that in the first week. What happens when you've got a free kick? And then one of their players runs right in front of you and stands right in front of the ball. So you can't pass it forward quickly and you can't get that attack moving quickly. That's delay of game. But there isn't a single ref that's pulled up on that. Yeah,
but look, I think this is the problem. Like when you have so many rules, like for me, they're creating rules for creating rules' sake, rather than saying, you know what, this is an emotional game. This is football's always been a quick game. Football's always been about getting it, rugby, cricket. These are games where you have delays, don't you? Because the whistle goes, everyone regroups, they huddle up. Football's always been a game that is constant. There's not many stoppages. Now we're sort of creating rule after rule after rule after rule, which unfortunately means there's less time of the ball in play, which has now led to more injury time at the end of games where you think, oh, we've done our 90 minutes, 98, 99. 100, it's just crazy.
There is a reason. It's always been they will stop the clock when the ball goes out of play. The clock's supposed to stop. It goes out for a throw, goes out for a goal kick, a corner kick. That's when the clock stops. But they weren't adding those bits on. That's why this whole delay of game stuff is coming in, and you're seeing 8-9 minutes at the end of each one because they're trying to actually go to the letter of the law that they had in the first place. Yeah.
No, I hear you, but don't you think it's just getting a bit silly?
Yeah,
Like we're getting to 90 minutes and then it's literally like we're playing another 10 to 15 minutes on top.
It's not even at the end of the game though. Like it's a half time, and you've got
Yeah,
8 minutes on. Like if it's a serious injury, you understand it. But 8 minutes at half time when everyone just wants to get out there and get their oranges.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, mate. I agree. Richard, is there anything else you want to say before I get the next person on? And by the way, this is the link. This is the link.
Bring our link, people. Come on.
If you see this link, you can come on. If you see this link, just click that. You can come on, but you do need your name and you need your camera on. And please keep it clean. If you come on and just say something offensive, you will be kicked off immediately. Anything else you want to say, Richard?
No, that's it. That's what I was going to say. This is a cheap Primani t-shirt, by the way, £6 Primani.
I love it. I love it.
Get down to Primani. They've got it all. But yeah, big up, Sav. I'm always in the show when I can. I always miss the earlier lives because I don't get up to like 9, 10 o'clock most of the day. But I do my best. And yeah, keep going, bro.
Thank you very much. Listen, really, really appreciate it, Richard. And thank you for your positivity. So thank you very much. Big up. We'll see you soon. Take care, bud. Bye-bye. Big up. We're going to bring in Ratish next. And then after Ratish is Simon. And then the link is in the chat. And after that, we'll go to Dushan, who is in South Africa. We'll go to him. So you are the third person, Dushan. There's a couple of super chats. We went to this one, didn't we? I love the Top Gooner. He is running his mouth so much that it's more... I want Spurs to beat Arsenal more than ever just because of these Arsenal fans feel like because they finished second one season, like they're talking like they're Real Madrid or Man City or a top team. It is very funny. East London Gooner's just putting a super sticker. Big up to you, East London Gooner. Much love. Always in the chat. Always very supportive. And Game of Throw-ins with one of the best names has just put in a super sticker as well. So big up to you. If anyone did want to put in a super chat, you can do. And please please subscribe. We've got 111 likes. We should be closer to 200. And on the subscribing front, we should be getting a few more subscribers than we're getting. So please smash that subscribe button, people. Ratish, how are you, my man? You okay?
I'm doing very well, Savva. Thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. It's a lovely day here. So,
Likewise,
just looking forward to the Premier League.
Yeah, Premier League is back. You know, what more can you ask? I mean, so yeah,
Absolutely.
I want to talk about a few things. So first and foremost, I want to start with the Harry Maguire scenario because it's been dominating the past few days. And here's my take on it. Like, as a player, you need to learn how to take criticism. Like, why do you feel the need to spit your dummy out? Because pundits, fans, England fans, and sections of the media critiquing you. Like, it's fully warranted because you're not pulling your weight, not just for England, but for Manchester United. And obviously his mum put up an Instagram story, you know, giving her side of things, saying that, you know, it's unacceptable, things like that. I mean, you know, she's 100% entitled to opinion. Obviously, she's defending Harry because, you know, family has to come first. Family's everything, but she has to realize it's part and parcel of the game. Like football, you are going to have highs and lows. Like if you can't take criticism, then you're clearly going to struggle in life.
Yeah, look, I think there's two things here. First and foremost, my view on it is I actually feel sorry for Harry Maguire. I feel like Gareth Southgate is the one at fault here. I feel like Gareth Southgate, if he was a good manager, he would have taken him out the firing line. You've got a player here that clearly doesn't deserve to be playing for England. Let's be brutally honest about this. Harry Maguire is playing for England because of years gone by. Yeah. He's not playing for England right now because he's one of the best centre-backs in the country. If anything, he's one of the worst centre-backs in English centre-backs in the country at the moment. Southgate keeps picking him. For me, that is really, really bad management. I think that's really, that is how you don't protect your players. For me, take him out the firing line, take him out the squad, give him a breather. For me, I'd be saying, listen, Harry, leave. Go and get yourself a club. Go and get yourself playing regular football. And when you do that, we'll bring you back into the squad when you're playing week in, week out, and you're playing well. Unfortunately, Gareth Southgate has got the backbone of someone that hasn't got a backbone. And, unfortunately, he does stupid things. So I don't know what you think about this, Ratish, but for me, the other night, when Mark Gahey got injured at half-time or they took him off at half-time through injury, I'm looking at that bench thinking, all right, you've got young talent there in Colwill, and you've got Tomori, who plays centre half for AC Milan week in, week out. But yet hit in front of all of them, Harry Maguire. And you just think, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And then that's where I am with it.
100%, 110%, and that's the problem with Gareth Southgate, which brings me on to that topic. Like, I know it's going to sound unpopular, but with me, Sav, I say how I see it. I don't jump on specific bandwagons. Like, I don't understand why Gareth Southgate is getting preferential golden treatment from a portion of England fans, from the media, and from pundits. Why is that? What? Because of achievements that he's done in the past? Listen, I'm not oblivious. Like, getting to the semi-final and finals of major tournaments is good, but it's not an achievement to hang your hat on. You're not going to be remembered for the next 10, 20 years down the line. Oh, England got to a semi-final once. England got to a quarter-final. Like, let's not talk about the past. Let's talk about the here and now. And I think with the Harry Maguire thing, like, he made his bed, so he has to lie in it. And what baffles me the most is, I listened to Gabriel Bongal's comments, like, anyone who dares critiquing Harry Maguire, you get called sheep. Like, why? Like, it's just the current climate that we live in. Like, if you have a pop at players, and with constructive criticism, may I add, all of a sudden you get talked over. That's it. So.
Yeah, I think that the one thing I agree with you. I think the one thing I would say is, I think when Harry Maguire and his team of marketing people, his PR team, his agent, whatever, look back, they'll probably look at this whole stunt from his mum and think, that's not the one. That's not the one. You don't bring your mum into, I'm not saying he did, but for me, I'd be bringing up my mum and going, what are you doing? Like, in any other walk of life, Ratish, right? If I've got a boss, my mum doesn't ring in my work or ring up my clients who have said I've done a bad job. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. I feel like if I was Harry Maguire right now, I'd be on the phone to Mummy Maguire saying, "What are you doing?" Like, it's like dropping your kid off at school and then doing that, thing where it's just a bit embarrassing for me.
Of course. Yeah. One more thing quickly with the whole thing to wrap it up. I think with Maguire, like, as a football player, you definitely deserve a second chance in everyday life. Like, from his perspective, if he had gone to somewhere like a West Ham, get first team minutes under your belt, rather than staying at Manchester United, then all of this would have been avoided. If Maguire wasn't picked for the Ukraine and Scotland games, all of this would have been avoided. So again, it comes back down to the manager. So that's a wrap. And switching gears to Spurs, looking ahead to this weekend, now that Premier League is back, the Sheffield United game, I feel, it's been a very good start. I mean, just try not to get too complacent. I think, if we keep our team injury free, who knows? But I think I did say last time I come on here, it's the Arsenal-Liverpool games after that will determine whether Spurs can actually move forward, or is it going to be same old, another false dawn. So just take each game as it goes.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. I completely agree with you. I think it's all about keeping our feet on the ground. It's been 4 games. Some of the things I'm seeing from people, this is the best player in the country at this position. This player's the best player in the league in his position. It's like, whoa, can we slow down and actually let, more than 4 games take place? But listen, Ratish, thanks for coming on. I really do appreciate it.
No worries, man. Take care. Have a good day.
And you, mate. And you have a lovely evening, all right?
Thank you.
Big up. And let's go to Simon, who is in the chat. Big up. Simon, welcome to you. How are you, sir?
How you doing, mate?
Yes, very well, thank you. You?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Yeah, the good Premier League's back, mate, so I'm all right.
God, isn't it? I'll tell you what, right? I'm sure that growing up, I know England played internationals, but I never remember it being at this regularity. Like, constantly.
I just don't get the 4 games in, bang, international break.
Right. Yeah. Everyone's getting into their groove in the league. Right. Stop that. Yeah. But what is it you want to talk about, mate?
Well, the first thing I want to talk about is Richarlison, mate.
Oh, what a lovely conversation. Strap in, everybody. We're going to talk about Richie.
Yeah. What do you make of the psychological help and...
Yeah, look. I mean, I talked about this on my show this morning, and look, I think it's a really difficult subject to approach. The moment people start talking about psychologists, mental health problems, I think what we have to do is then separate the football conversation from the mental health side of it.
Yeah, definitely.
So I feel like if I'm asked questions about Richarlison, I now always have to caveat certain players you can ask me about, and I'll just go this or this.
Bang. Yeah.
With Richarlison, I feel now because of this, it's now going to be very heavily caveated, which is
definitely.
Richarlison. I do not rate one bit. I do not rate him.
I never got why we signed him. I never got why we signed him. He was 1 in 3. When is he at Everton? 1 in 3.
Yeah, if that. Yeah, I mean his career, he's got 8.5 goals a season average over 10 years.
Yeah. I don't know why we just didn't bring Gift Orban in.
Yeah,
I really don't.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm guessing that it's purely a guess. I don't know. I'm not involved with the club, but look, they've had 47 million to spend on a forward player, and their choice was Brennan Johnson. I can only suggest that he didn't want a forward, because for me,
maybe
I've got nothing against Brennan Johnson. I think I'm a bit.
I don't know. I saw him the other night.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is what I'm going to say. From when I've seen him at Forest, I think he's at his best when he's running with the ball from deep because he's got pace.
Definitely. Yeah, he's got pace. Yeah.
The other night when I watched him, I guess you're talking about the game with Latvia.
Latvia, yeah. Well, I've seen him straight through on goal, and
he didn't look. I think there were
didn't look composed. Composed and
3 or 4 chances he had where he snatched.
Oh no! Yeah.
I'm intrigued. Is the word for me? I'm intrigued to see what have they bought him to do. Is he being bought to be
on the win?
A competition to Kulu, competition to Sonny, or competition to both? I'm not sure how good this guy is as a footballer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and just been a breath of fresh air though. Every press conference I listen to, he's just mustard, absolutely mustard. Whatever he says, I'll just get straight away. He's brought my club back, Sav.
Yeah. Listen, I think this is the key thing. Listen, look, for years we've had this stigma of like when I said I didn't like Conte, and people were like, "Oh my God, you don't deserve him." No, I didn't deserve him. No, you're right. I deserved better.
We didn't deserve that football, mate.
Oh, no one deserves watching that football. But do you know what? If I'm really honest, Simon, if we look away from the football, right, it was everything. It was the mood around the club didn't seem nice.
Yeah.
The players didn't seem happy.
No.
His press conferences didn't ever make me think that he's here for the long term and he's here for us.
I didn't watch them.
They were hard work.
I didn't watch them. They were. It really was.
But
really was.
now I think that he is this guy. Everything he says, you go, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not one of these fans, Simon, who's going to expect him to win leagues and stuff. I mean, let's be fair. To win leagues, you've got to spend. But I can identify with the club again. I can look at the club and go, this is my manager. This is who I want representing.
There's a style of play.
Right.
It's finally a style of play. We're not sitting back and counter-attacking.
Yeah.
We're front foot, possession-based, attacking. That's what I've always wanted. Not sit back and soak it up and see what we can do.
Yeah, I think the style of play helps. I also think that when you watch him in press conferences, everything he says, he sounds like a fan. He talks like the 3 key things that he said the other day in his chat with TalkSport was, it's about the style of play, which was a big tick. Then it's about winning, which is a big tick because we don't tend to. And then the biggest thing he said for me was that it's about the fans and the punters. That for me was about, yes, it is about us.
Yeah,
it's about all of us, because when Conte's gone, when Jose's gone, when Poch's gone, when Bill Nicholson's gone, when Hoddle's gone, we're all here.
We're
here.
Exactly,
we're the fans, right? So I just think he gets it.
Yeah, he does, 100%.
But yeah, is there anything else you wanted to talk about before I get the next person?
No, that's it. Thank you, mate. That's it. Thanks.
No worries. Just quickly give me a prediction. Tottenham Sheffield United for Saturday.
4-0.
4-0. Love it. To
4-0.
Sheffield United or?
Oh, no, definitely not Sheffield United, mate.
Yeah, it should. I think we should win as well. But yeah,
definitely.
and just a quick time for me to plug to everyone. I will be doing a live watch along from 2 p.m. on Saturday, so join me for that. But Simon, thank you so much, mate. Really appreciate that. And enjoy the rest of your day. All right.
And you, mate. Thank you very much.
Take care. Take care, buddy. Bye bye. Who have we got next in the chat? We've got Dushan out there in South Africa, if I'm not wrong. I can't hear you, Dushan. I think you're on mute.
How's it going, Savva?
I'm good. How are you, mate? You well?
Oh, all well, Savva. Thanks, first of all, thanks for bringing me on. Yes, from South Africa.
Welcome, man.
I just want to go on from the last speaker when you guys were speaking about England. So for me, as an outside fan and someone, I've chosen England naturally as my team because the only football I grew up watching was Premier League.
Right.
Is it just a problem of not the manager? Because England have had this talent before, this plethora of talent pool, and have always come up short. So is it not just maybe a mindset problem, or and I know I'm gonna sound, I'm just putting this out there. Are they as good as we think they are?
Listen, good questions. Good questions. Look, we've had good squads in the past. The one that springs to mind would be under Sven-Goran Eriksson, when he had Beckham, Scholes, Lampard, Gerrard, Joe Cole, Wayne Rooney, Ferdinand, Neville, Ashley Cole.
All-stars. These are the all-stars.
Right. So, listen, it's difficult. Back then, I think it was more difficult because I think international football back then, the countries were stronger, if I'm brutally honest. Now, I look at England's squad and go, we've got one of the best squads in world football. I think now, for me, it's a mixture of what you said. I do think some of the players are massively overrated. I do think that when England get a player, everyone is raised up to be the best. They're the best in the world. Go on then. Go on. Sorry, the dog. I think they're raised up to be. Listen, it's part of the show. It's part of the show. He's.
I know. I tune in every morning. Every morning.
Where is he?
Every morning.
He's just fallen asleep. Listen, I think there's some really good players there. I think that England have got. I think obviously Harry Kane will always score goals. One of the best strikers in the world. Jude Bellingham's a top midfielder. I think Declan Rice is a very good midfielder. I think that the problem for me this time sits with the manager. And for me, I think when you look at some of the wealth of talent that we've got, the players that are guaranteed a game, Duchesne, for me, sorry, I say for me, historically, the players that are guaranteed a game are all the hard-working players. When you've looked down the years, that it's always been the Mason Mounts. It's always been the Rices, the Phillips. You've got your Fodens. For me, you don't leave Foden out of the England team. This boy is ridiculously talented, can play from the right, from the left, from the middle. He can dribble with the ball. He can pass. He can shoot. He can play make. You watch. He's one of the first players to get subbed off or always on the bench. Jack Grealish, again, good enough for Pep to play every game for Man City in a treble-winning team. Used sort of fleetingly for England, right? I don't know. He just doesn't. Maddison. Look at James Maddison. Right? How many caps has James Maddison had under Gareth Southgate? He doesn't seem to want to put the game winners in there.
I just want to, so with our country and I'm sure a lot of countries happen like this. Sometimes not the coach that's always choosing the team. Do we think this is the case with England as well? Do you think maybe it's from the higher ups that are maybe telling, Southgate, you need to play these players, and he's forced to now protect them? Or,
I don't know. I'll tell you the reason I'll disagree with you on this one, if that's all right. I'm not saying you've said that, but the reason I go against that point is this is Southgate's style of football. Southgate, for me, doesn't know how to get the best out of all the attacking players. So, for example, imagine I said this is the 6 going forward for England, right? Actually, let me add the fullbacks in as well. If I said to you, you have Ben Chilwell on the left, Kyle Walker on the right, then you've got Rice, Bellingham, Maddison, and then Foden, Grealish, and Kane. What would Pep Guardiola do with that team? Right? He'd have them playing controlled, retained possession football, creating, all interchanging. You watch England, there's no interchanging. There's no... It's all very, very static, and they get away with it because most of the nations they play, we should be.
Yeah, and you were saying the level as well in terms of like international football in general is shocking. I mean, I grew up watching Italy lift the World Cup, and now they're not even qualifying for the World Cup. So it's I get where you guys are coming from in terms of, I mean, you have the talent pool now. Now's the time to win. And it feels like the manager is now obviously the one thing that's stopping all of it. But I would say the positive, maybe one positive you can take out from this is most of these players are maybe not in their prime yet. So hopefully the next manager that you do get, I mean, hoping that Southgate does leave, hopefully the next manager you do get can work with these players when they're in their prime.
I think, listen, for me, this has got to be his last tournament. If he wins it, I think that buys him another tournament. If he doesn't win it, I think he's got to go. And again, I'm just so concerned as to who are the FA going to bring in. I don't think they want that creative maverick manager. You know, we need a De Zerbi. England even need a Graham Potter, somebody that wants to get a team well drilled, playing a certain way, and that needs some time with the players. But I've got a feeling we'll just go for more and more yes men. But listen. I will let you go, Dushan, so I can get Angus on, and then
Thanks so much.
Yanni.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming on, man, and nice to finally put a face to the name. So big up to you, all right?
Big up, Savva.
Take care, mate. Have a lovely day. Take care. Bye-bye. Big up. We're going to bring on, oh, God, we got a Gooner. We got a Gooner coming on. This is all going to be fun, isn't it? You've got to love the Gooners. Best team in the world. Just quickly, though, this is interesting. I said Brennan Johnson reminds me of Dan James right now. Oof, Brennan Johnson reminds of Dan James. Interesting. Don't say that to all the people that didn't rate him and then suddenly did once we signed him. I don't know. I'm not sure about him. I'm so 50-50 on him. Let's bring on Angus. Big up to you, my man. How are you?
As well as I can be, mate, after what I've had to do today, but
yeah, I was going to say, you sure you're in the right mindset to be having football chat?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. You've gone mute. You've gone on mute, Angus. Can't hear you.
I appreciate you. I appreciate your concern.
No, listen, mate, absolutely. Listen, sometimes you need a distraction. What is it you wanted to say? Did you want to say something to me about Arsenal or Spurs or neither?
I watched your video that you posted before about the Darren Ambrose. Do you honestly think that could happen? Heart in your heart?
I mean, I tell you, first of all, Angus, before I get into this, I'll tell you what was absolutely hilarious. In all the comments I got back was people just not understanding the video at all. Like as though I had said it. And I think throughout the whole video, I thought I was pretty neutral and didn't actually give an opinion either way. Look, I mean, look, the crux of the question you're asking me is, can Spurs finish above Arsenal? That's what you're asking me, right?
Yeah.
Right. I think... Go on.
I honestly don't think you can. Like,
okay,
your squad isn't good enough.
You tell me why not. You tell me why not, and then we'll have that chat.
Your squad isn't good enough. Like, if Romero gets injured, you have no one else to bring in that's good enough. The same for us. Does that same for us? But we need to go up levels. And I mean, squad depth, quality, stuff like that. In our midfield as well. Havertz, get him the hell out. I don't care.
Let me ask you then. So before I give you my answer to this, if we're talking about, you know, once players come out, the drop off to the backup players is huge for both clubs. We've only got the Premier League. You've got 4 competitions. So I'll just devil's advocate. Wouldn't that affect you more than us? And I know it's not that simple. It doesn't always work like that. But couldn't that the same be said for both clubs then? So why are you so confident to finish above us?
Not confident, but I'm not sure. It's a 50-50.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's 50-50.
I'll tell you, listen, I've said this and I've been really, really consistent with this for a very long time. Someone will tell me I've not said this, but I have. Hopefully you've seen me say this before. I think Spurs can finish above Arsenal. I think we can get top 4. But there are so many things that need to go our way in order for that to happen. First off, it's injuries. I agree with you. I think every Spurs fan, you watch every Spurs fan who's panicked this week at the suggestion that Romero and Son might be injured, right? You look at the panic of, oh my God, we might have to play an 18-year-old kid at centre-half or Eric Dyer because Romero might be injured, right? So that for me tells you that we might not be ready. Now, can Spurs, we've got 15
It's not
games.
just that though. If you lose Maddison, you put Lo Celso in, the drop off.
Mate, I agree. I agree. I used Romero and Son as the examples because of this week. They both got knocks, and then we all worried. It was the same when James Maddison got a knock from the Man United game, and we were all week going, "Oh my God, is he going to be fit to play against Bournemouth?" Then he played, and he was sensational. Look, I would say this. Sorry, it's just come on Sky Sports News. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium named the home of the NFL. That's Tottenham Hotspur for you. Look, the drop-off from all these players is huge. Angus, we've got 15 Premier League games between now and the window opening. If you keep the same 11 for 15 games in a row, I think we can be right up there. I do. I'm not talking about City. I'm not talking about winning it. I think we can be right up there in the top 4. I think a couple of players come out of that, and I think the dynamic of the team can really suffer. So I think injuries, suspension, form, 3 key things. Plus, the biggest thing that no one ever talks about is whether or not we can do it. It's not just about us. It's about you. It's about Liverpool. It's about City. It's about Man U, Brighton. If all these other teams go into great runs that are better than ours, then it doesn't matter how well we do if those teams do better. So it's why after 4 games, I just find it staggering that so many people are trying to predict season-end finishes after 4 games.
I just think you fans need to calm down a little bit because you're going over the top. Just a little bit.
Listen,
I understand.
You know me.
Yeah. I understand, but when it comes to Ange, he's level-headed. He's on it. I remember his first press conference when he was at Celtic. Said the exact same thing. I loved his press conferences. Loved them. I used to watch them every week. He's incredible. You've got a very good manager on your hands.
Yeah, I believe we have as well. And to celebrate having such a good manager on our hands, smash that subscribe button, people. We have just gone past.
And by the way, he's won more trophies in 2 years than David Moyes has in 40.
Angus, you can't stop me mid-flow and asking for subscribers, my friend. You can't stop me mid-flow. Smash the subscribe button. We just passed the 11,100 mark. Let's get that towards the 11,200 mark. But listen, I agree with you. I think Ange's a top manager. I think a lot of fans, though, have suddenly forgotten how much of a mess this club was in. And for me, that isn't just results on the pitch. I think there's a lot to sort out at Tottenham. And suddenly when people start talking about, can we finish second? Can we win the league? Can we do this? Can we do that? I just think, whoa, let's slow down. Let's see where we are after the first 10 games of the season. Because if we beat Sheffield United and then don't lose to Liverpool and Arsenal, I think then you start going, hang on, I'm not really worried about many teams here. But imagine you lose to Arsenal and Liverpool. All of a sudden, you have to go, oh, God, hang on, that's knocked us down a peg or 2. And that's a stark reminder of how we're not a big, so I keep my feet on the ground, but get called negative for it. But it is what it is.
You always get called, whatever you say, Savva, you always get called negative. Whatever you say, honestly.
Do you know the funny thing is I was one of the first Spurs fans, especially online, that when we were linked to Postecoglou, said, I love this. I would love him to be our manager. And now I get people going, oh my God, just appreciate Ange. And I'm like, I wanted him. I wanted
Savva,
him. It was all...
If you ever watched the game, his very first Old Firm game versus Rangers, Celtic didn't beat them in 3 years. He comes in, beats them, first game, destroys them.
Yeah, listen, he's a very good manager, man. He's a very, very good manager. And I think, as with anything, he needs time. As I always say, we're in an era where everyone wants everything like that. And I'll tell you what, I've been watching on Amazon Prime. I've been watching the Newcastle documentary from when the new owners took over. And, you know, the owners talk about it a lot to say, look, first and foremost, we're kind of above where we thought we were going to be. And unfortunately, that's driven expectations so high that the moment they've had their first dip now, like they've lost their last 3, fans are going, oh my God, Eddie Howe, is he the manager? And you're like, whoa, hang on, look where you were, look where you are, relax. But everyone thinks they can win something overnight. And that's football in 2023, I'm afraid.
That's just football for the past 10 years, though. Everyone wants it just like that.
Sure.
That's just it, though.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Sure. No one wants time. And if you ask for time, you get told, just be happy, just ride with a wave. And I've had so many waves that I've ridden, Angus, at Spurs. And they're all like this. And then ultimately, when nothing comes of it, and then you get told, oh, you're negative, it's like, well, yeah, but I've been right, haven't I? So listen, we'll see how it goes. Angus, listen, I am going to get on Yanni. So listen, thanks for coming on, man. I hope all goes well with your dad.
I appreciate it.
And
on Monday, on Monday, he gets the results back, so I'll let you know Monday.
Mate, listen, best of luck to your dad for that, all right?
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Bye.
Bye-bye. Big up. I'm going to bring Yanni onto the chat. I'm going to put the link in the show for anyone else who did want to come in. The link is there. After Yanni, no one else is queuing up. So if you want to come on, this is your chance. And please, come on, people. Look, I'm going to say it. Look, we're on 11,102. Let's get that to 11,110 in the next 5 minutes. Come on, share the love. I'll put the link in the chat. And just remember, this is my job. So it really does help me grow the channel and keep this going full time. So the link is in the chat there. Big up to you. And let's bring Yanni onto the show. How are you, Yanni?
Hi, how are you, Savva? How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you? And where are you?
I'm in New Jersey.
New Jersey?
Yeah,
nice.
It's actually Yanni. I'm Greek. Yanni.
Oh,
yeah.
You're Greek. Welcome to the Greeks.
Yeah, but so basically, I've been a Spurs fan for like 5 years now. We have a lot of supporters in America. I think more than people think, honestly. But basically, my question to you, because I really want to get your analysis on this, is obviously with the new manager that we have and the good. I think we have a pretty good backline right now. Udogie, Van de Ven, Romero. I really rate those players. I think they're only going to get better. But my question to you is, with Tottenham, I think throughout the years, the past maybe 6 8 years, we've had these young players, this good talent come in. But I feel like retaining them, right? How do we get to the point where we re-sign Destiny? We keep Van de Ven here. How do we build that culture to where it's these players are not just here for 4 years. These players aren't just coming in, oh, we're going to be here for 4 years and let's go to, bigger clubs. Do you think it's possible for us to actually build something kind of like what Arsenal's doing, where they're locking down Martinelli, they're locking down Odegaard, they're locking down Saka? How do you think we get that? How do you think we get these players to commit to us? Because around the USA, around probably most of the world, we're just looked at we come for a little bit. The players come and then they screw Tottenham, whatever. We'll go to Arsenal, we'll go to United. How do you think we become that club to where we achieve and we just maintain players? Because to me, I love Romero, but I've heard people say, oh, Romero, he's top 5 center back. He's going to go to Madrid or Barca in 2 years. You're just going to lose him. What's the point? So that's my question to you. I really want to hear what you have to say for that.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because for years we were a team that did that. If you look at Gareth Bale, you look at Luka Modric, Teddy Sheringham, Michael Carrick, Robbie Keane, Defoe, loads of these players. They came in, they went. And look, for me, I think it's quite simply down to the lack of success. I know that, and I've been a big advocate of this, and fans jump on my back for saying this, but I think that when we talk about we talk about players they're not that bothered about winning. They are bothered about winning. They want trophies. They want success. Hence why Harry Kane has just upped and left after 10 years, right? So I think the only way to stop players going is to win. And I don't mean, the difficult thing is, I don't just mean winning a trophy. It's not like, oh, you've won the League Cup, everyone wants to stay. I think part of it is winning consistently. The other part of it is just knowing we're in the food chain. We are in the food chain. Let's be brutally honest. As much as people love Romero, might love Udogie, right? Might love Basuma. In 2 years' time, if Man City are still flying high and winning trebles and winning leagues every year, and they come in and go, we'll give you £100 million for Romero, Romero's head is going to be turned, right? I don't think it matters sometimes how well a club is doing. When the biggest clubs in the world come calling for you, those players have the ambition that we have. They want to go to the biggest clubs in the world and they want to win things. So I don't know if that answered your question, but I think it's a really tough one.
I get what you're saying. I just feel like, I don't know, because I've been a fan for like 5 to 6 years now. Nowhere probably like you. Like, I'm still learning. I'm an American fan, so I understand. Like, I don't know as much as the average UK fan or whatever. But
no, man, don't worry about that.
Yeah, but for me, for like American sports, like I'm a big NFL fan, big MLB fan. These players come in, they build with the club, and I feel like there's no loyalty. I don't know. Like, that's one thing I loved about Kane. Say what you want, he didn't show up in finals, whatever. At least his first 6 years, 7 years, he stayed loyal. He wanted to try to win. I feel like that's the thing about like football or whatever. Like, these players, they just come and go. I don't know. I just want to see like my club, to have some loyalty. The players want to come. They want to change. You know what? I was the one who won Tottenham the Premier League title. I was the one who won Tottenham an FA Cup.
I think the difference is, I think that a lot of players will probably start with that as their default setting. I'm going there. I want to change things. I want to do things. I just think a footballer's career is short. How long do those players sit by and watch whilst the club aren't winning things? And I suppose you can look at a number of factors. If it's a club that should be winning trophies and you go, okay, well, listen, the players messed up here. They didn't get over the line. Or are we looking at the owners and going, we're that far away. Did they do enough in the transfer market to take you from there to there? But I would say that a lot of our players, unfortunately, I think we've had too much loyalty. And I'll tell you what I mean by that is we've got a lot of players that we can't get rid of because they've been here so long, got such good contracts that there's no pressure to win.
Yeah.
In a way, I feel we almost need to be a bit more ruthless as a club. Players coming in, not performed, see you later, we're selling you the next year or 2 years later. But I'll ask you that question. I mean, Romero seems to be the hot topic at the moment.
Yeah.
Christian Romero next summer got a bid from Real Madrid or Man City. Do we truly believe that Christian Romero doesn't force for that move to happen?
I would be almost, I can't really dispute that. I mean, it's Real Madrid. They're the biggest club in the world. I mean, I did see on Spurs Web on Twitter, like, he was saying, it's such an honor to be the vice captain. It's such an honor. I want to, I heard actually if Conte stayed, he would have left. I don't know how true that is. I don't know if you know anything about that.
Wouldn't you? I would.
Yeah,
listen, I nearly felt about leaving as a fan because Conte was here.
I mean, for me, look at it. For 4 years, it's like watching Haram ball. Like, we don't go for games. I was watching the AC Milan Tottenham first leg with a bunch of buddies from college. It was brutal. I mean, Brian, the guy Diaz on Milan scored, and it was I thought we had a chance in that, but that's besides the point. Whatever. But no, I mean, with Romero, I don't know. He would want to go. I mean, 100 million, 80 million. I understand that, but I don't know. I guess who knows? Maybe Tottenham, unless Levy leaves, because I'm a big Levy out guy. I do not like Levy at all. I feel like, especially during the prime, I know you probably feel the same way with Kane, Dembele, Eriksson, all those guys. We didn't invest for 3 windows, and that was the saddest thing because that was our maybe people say golden era or whatever. Probably not, but you get what I'm trying to say. Like, it just really, he always leaves us short. I mean, I know he's spending money, and then the debate happens. The recruitment's bad. He spends the money, whatever the case is. But I don't know. I just feel like what Arsenal's doing, if you look at that, they lock down all their players. I don't think they'll win the Prem this year.
But Yanni, right? Let's have a look at this, right? They've locked down their players, have they? So what we're talking about is they've got given them new contracts, but essentially, let's be really, really brutal about this. The contracts they've given them is just so that when they sell them, they can make more money, right?
Yeah.
Let's be honest, because I'd like to think that some of the sensible guys, some of the gooners that come in the chat, like they're all good fun. That none of them are rude, but some of them are so deluded it's unreal. Let me see if any of the sensible Arsenal fans, right? If Arsenal don't win anything in the next couple of years, right? Are we saying that Saka, Odegaard, Saliba, are we saying that these players don't start having their head turned by Man City, by Real Madrid, by Barcelona, by Bayern Munich? Because at the end of the day, it's all right being good. It's all right challenging. But if you're not getting over the line, and like, look at Arsenal. Arsenal had a brilliant year last year.
Yeah.
Hate to say it, but let's be honest. As Spurs fans, we can say Arsenal had a brilliant year. Doesn't really mean anything if you don't back it up the next year. And this is what we keep doing. We have these years where we finish fourth and everyone's like, brilliant, go on, crack on. Then the next year you'll finish seventh or sixth and a top player leagues. So Arsenal are going to face the same problem. West Ham will face that problem. Bringing in Edson Alvarez, bringing in Kudus, Jared Bowen. At what point does Jared Bowen get his head turned? So I don't think it's just a Spurs problem. I think this is an all-round club problem.
Yeah, no, definitely. I do agree with that. I mean, like I said, I don't think Arsenal won the Premier League this year. I think they got worse. And honestly, too, I think, I've seen your videos on this, too. I know you think Spurs will probably finish around the 4th, 5th margin, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I honestly think, too, I agree with that. I think we get 4th. I mean, I have a buddy of mine, huge Chelsea fan, and before the year, we actually made a $100 bet. I said they won't finish in the top 4, and he said they would. So confident. I think it's looking good for me right now, but I just think, I think with the style of play, the players only getting better, the youth we have in the squad, Maddison, in my opinion, one of the best players in the world on form right now. The guy is just excellent to watch. And the fact that Southgate, whatever, I don't really follow international football like that, but I see a bunch of YouTubers, they're not really happy with him. But I just think we look so good. I do agree we're probably, I would say, I don't know, we need probably another midfielder. Brendan Johnson came in. He does have the pace, which I'm excited about because Big Ann, she likes using wingers with pace, I've read. So I don't know. I think, we get 4th this year. I think that would be a huge achievement considering Kane left. I've seen a lot of videos, 10th place finish, 11th place finish. I think we could really have a good run. And, I don't know. I guess long term, I hope, something changes. I would really want to win a trophy. Who doesn't, It's been way too long.
Well, listen, we have 2 chances to win a trophy this year, and we threw away one of them. So, but listen, at the end of the day, for me, what's more important than winning a trophy this year is that Spurs, since Pochettino, haven't started a season and ended a season with the same manager.
Correct.
And that is not good enough. I don't care whether it's football, business. I don't care if it's relationships. You can't keep changing every year. You can't. At some point, you've got to. I can't keep changing my wife every year. You know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? That's a good idea, but you can't. For anything to work in life, you've got to have some people. I know people will hate me for saying this. You've got to have consistency.
No, you do. No, correct.
So for me, let's let Postecoglou do his thing for this year, right? We finish 5th, 4th, 6th, 7th. Cool. Back him again next summer. Let him keep building, keep growing, keep getting rid of more deadwood, keep bringing in young, hungry players that want to play his way, and let's build. But I feel like there's a lot of people putting unnecessary pressure on him right now. Like a lot of people putting this pressure like, look at all our games between now and January. We could be top. And it's like, whoa, like slow down. I think sometimes we have to realize where we are in the football food chain.
I do agree with that. And I would say I wanted to get another opinion on the manager. So where do you rank Postecoglou right now in the Premier League managers? I know he just came in. I know this is a tough question. I'm not trying to cause a decisive whatever, opinion, but for me personally, I think by the end of the year, I really do believe he will prove that he's on the, not obviously Pep, not Klopp, but I think he could be right where Arteta is. I really do. I really do believe that.
Yeah, listen, I mean, I mean, when we're talking about, João Paulinho has just signed a new 5-year deal with Fulham.
Fulham, yeah.
Wow, that means they're going to make a little bit extra cash on him when they sell it. See, again, that's what I mean. You could tie him down. Now it just means anyone big that wants to come in is going to have to start their bid with like 90 to 100 million. Look, Postecoglou, again, I'm not going to be contradictory. I think the same of Postecoglou as I do with all the players. When you come in, it's about consistency. For me, it's not about judging the man over 4 games. Yep, brilliant start. It's about, let's judge him after a season. Then, can he kick on next season and the season after? For me, with anything, it's consistency. Arteta, I mean, lots of fans go mad for him. I mean, this guy's finished 8th, 5th, 2nd. So if we actually take where he's finished as an average, I mean, I'm somebody better than me at maths right now. What is the average? 8th, 5th, 2nd. I don't know what, 5th.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know. Somebody in the chat who is a lot more cleverer than me without a million things to try and do at once. If you finish 8th, 5th, and 2nd, what is your average league position over 4 seasons? For me, big year for, I know we're not Arsenal fans. If I take my Spurs hat off and looking from the outside in, massive year for Arteta. Because if he doesn't replicate last year, the cynics could say, well, hang on, you finished 8th, 5th, 2nd, 5th. So the second then becomes an anomaly, not the regular, not the norm. However, finish second again, you go 8th, 5th, 2nd, 2nd. All right, cool. Yeah, you're doing bits. So for me, I listen, I love how biased football fans are. I love it. The Arsenal fans have got like A grade in it. They're absolutely fantastic with it. But time is everything. Time is everything. There would have been a time where people said Pochettino, oh, it's brilliant. One of the best managers in the world. Now, his reputation isn't so high. His stock isn't so high. Why?
Yeah.
Consistency. Doing it year in, year out.
I wanted to say, too, I thought this was hilarious. I watched the video with you, Matisse, and that West Ham fan yesterday. It was hilarious. I couldn't believe you lasted there for as long as you did. I was like, I can't imagine. Oh, I mean, West Ham fan? I couldn't. I really couldn't. It was.
Listen, it's all good. We're all good friends. So listen, we just banter about it. I love it though, because in a show like that, I mean, I love it. He's so passionate about his club. I'm passionate about mine. These things happen, but backstage, everyone's cool with each other.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to say, because I gotta get going. But like I said, I really love the content you're producing. I hope everything goes well with you and your YouTube, and just keep it up because
thank you.
I'm recommending some other Spurs fans in America too. So we're watching. I love the live stream. So yeah, just keep it up, man.
Listen, I really appreciate that. I hear so many bad things a day that it's actually quite nice to hear some nice things every now and then.
Yeah, man, you're doing great.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And listen, thanks for coming on, and you're always welcome. All right.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Have a good rest of your day.
Yeah, bro. Take care, man. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Right, if anyone else did want to come on, we can go for another 25, 30 minutes max. If anyone did want to come on, at the moment, I don't have anyone waiting, so you would be the first up. Here is the link. It'll be the link that I put in at 6:48 p.m. UK time. This is the link for anyone that did want to come on and chat. If you don't want to, you don't have to, and we can look at some comments. It's not a problem. Let's have a look. By the way, come on. We are 4 subscribers short of today's target. 4. Who's going to be that kind person to do that? Come on. Let's do it, people. Let's smash that button. Tap to Piwa said, will Saka rip a doggy? Should be a really good matchup. Let's see. I keep hearing all this hype about Saka. Let's see. A doggy getting a lot of hype as well. I think that should be a really, really good matchup, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how that works. By the way, no one has to come on, by the way. Don't feel you have to, but I'm just putting the link in. And obviously, this is a live Q&A session, so it's up to anybody if they want to come on. Peter has said, don't compare Arteta. He had no experience and he is improving. I feel like you don't. I feel like, Peter, whenever you come in and say something, I feel like you don't listen to what people have actually said. But hey, up to you. There's so many Arsenal fans in the chat today, isn't there? There's loads of them. Felicia said he ripped through Spurs plenty at San Antonio Hotspur. Spurs only produced good youth once in 15 years. Dead youth system. Yeah. I mean, okay, cool. Yeah. Barat has said, always worried about losing our best players. It's happened before and it can happen again. We have to start winning soon to keep your best players happy. I think this just goes for all clubs, right? This is what I was trying to say. Thank you for the 2 people that just unsubscribed. I tell you what, YouTube viewers always astound me. They come on, watch free content, and then they just belittle the content creator by coming on, chatting in their comments, and then unsubscribing. So thank you. It's always appreciated. Thank you for that. But Barat, I mean, this is it, right? I think this goes for all clubs. The top clubs will come and pick the best players. So it is what it is. Let's go. I'm going to bring Mia on in just 1 second. AY has said Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp, Postecoglou, Arteta. I mean, I do feel like it's a bit soon for why would Postecoglou just suddenly leapfrog managers like De Zerbi, like David Moyes? Like why would he immediately? I don't know. Mia, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay. Have you been called racist today yet?
No, I haven't actually. It's been a good day. It's been a good day.
Well, you're doing something wrong. You've not done something right if you're not being called racist. So.
Oh, okay. Damn. I better start saying things about Sonny, and then obviously I'll get called a racist. So it's all good.
You will. Oh, what should we talk about, Mia? What do you want to talk about?
So, Joe, what I was listening in while I was cooking the kids' dinner, and my question for you would be expectations. So a lot of people, since we've started winning a little bit, their expectations have got a bit wild, in my humble opinion. I feel people have just gone a bit crazy with it. But if we win, say up until Christmas, we do really well still. We're not losing many games. If we beat, say, a Liverpool, an Arsenal, or draw with one of them and maybe win with one, would your expectations change? Because mine wouldn't. All along, I've been saying I'm a happy clapper, but a sensible one. So my expectations aren't going to change for what I believe we're going to achieve this season.
Yeah, great question. I think the key thing for me is expectations are only as good as the moment you're in. And what I mean by that is what we could do in the first 10 games of the season. We could win 9 and draw 1 of our first 10, right? And everyone would go, no, title challenge. You lose a couple of players, all of a sudden you lose games, right? And this is the thing for me. If, like you said, we get to January and we're flying high, we're in the top 3, we're in the mix. The big thing for me before I get carried away is seeing what do our owners do at that stage? What is the owner's belief? Because it's all well and good the fans getting carried away, but our owners never get carried away and go, you know what? Let's make a fist of this. And we had this with Redknapp in 2010, 11, something like that, where we were second or third, a few points off the top turning into January. And he wanted Tevez and Cahill when he got Saha and Nelson. And then we fell away. We had this with Pochettino multiple times. We had this even to an extent under Martin Jol, that we get there, our fans' expectations get to there, but the owners go, no, let's bring you back. We're going to keep it here. That's the key thing for me. It's not about how excited we all get. It's what will they do.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And also, like, the other thing is, in a way, is that if I feel like Postecoglou does too well, there's going to be, not too well, but if he does so well in a certain amount of games, when it does go wrong, Savva, everyone's going to have this meltdown, not understanding that part of this is to have ups and downs, right? I believe that we are going to have ups and downs, but the problem is the longer we're doing well, in a way, it means that everybody's like getting so hyped. And then when we do lose a game, which we will, we're not going to go to the season unbeaten. So when we do lose, everybody is going to have this enormous meltdown. And I feel like that's the issue, because we're just so on the edge as fans. Like, it just takes one thing and everybody just goes really over the top either way. No one's really balanced. Everyone's just kind of going either way over the top, being too like, oh, we're going to get second, we're going to challenge, we're going to be there, we're going to be doing this. And then other ones that are just like, at the drop of a hat, just one loss, and they're like, we're getting relegated. You know, like, it's just very difficult, isn't it, to have like that balance?
Yeah, I do feel as well that if you try to remain as balanced as possible as a fan these days, you get told A, that you're negative, or B, that you're not excited enough or not enjoying the ride. I just think, listen, I know we're the same age, right, Mia? But I feel like I know that, by the way. Like, aren't we like a day apart or something, or a few days apart?
No, it's only, it's not far, because you're November, I'm October.
Yeah. I feel like I can say this thing because I know we're both the same age. I think it is an age thing. I think you do get to a stage where you've been there, seen it, done it, and automatically you don't, like when I was younger, I'd get well carried away. We'd win 3 or 4 games and be like, oh my God, we are winning this league. Everyone's rubbish. We're winning it. Now I've got to the stage where it's like, yeah, this is good. This is good form. Keep your feet on the ground, because otherwise you run your mouth off. Right, you start. Otherwise, you do what Arsenal fans did last year. You run your mouth off. You tell everyone you're winning the league. Anyone else that tells you you're not is salty. Then, when you don't, you end up scrambling around for excuses as to why you didn't. I'll stand by my opinion. Right, if Spurs get back into European football this year, superb. If we get back into Champions League, give the man a statue, because I think he'll have done an excellent job. But when people talk about titles and we're not scared of anyone, I feel like, whoa, like, can we calm down? Like, I'll ask you a question, Mia. So far from the 4 teams we've played, and I'm not knocking them, have we really played a good attacking team with good forwards that run at you and scare you?
No, I don't think we have. No.
Right. That's my that's my barometer, right? Is Arsenal and Liverpool. When I'm looking at Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli and Jesus, then I'm looking at Szoboszlai, Luis Diaz, Nunez, Salah, Gakpo, Jota, whoever plays. This is the test for me. This is the test.
Yeah, this is the test. I think that the reason I say maybe I'm not as worried is because we're not playing such like defensive football. So what I know is that even if we lose, we're going to lose in style. It's not going to be a game where I'm like pulling my hair out thinking, oh my God, this game is awful. I feel like that I'm not afraid of us going to do that. I know we're going to play good football. And if we lose in, like I say, a bit of style at least. So I think that's where I'm coming from when I say I'm not worried, because I'm just like, I enjoy the football. I know we're going to lose. And yes, there are going to be teams, obviously, who are going to outdo us. That's just the way it is with certain teams, like you say, who have got that attacking prowess. So I'm kind of like I said, I'm quite balanced with it. I'm actually quite reasonable and think about it, you know.
But just because you're balanced doesn't mean you're not enjoying it, right?
No, I enjoy it. Absolutely,
exactly.
I enjoy it. I'm loving it. Like you saw what I said to Alex when he come on Mr. Box Office, and he was being so like about it all, and I'm like, come on, just enjoy the moment, enjoy it in the moment. And then when we get to a point where we lose, we cross that bridge when we get to it, right? And we deal with it and see how the team deals with it. It's very much about their mentality, to see how Sonny as a captain deals with it, how Ange deals with it as our manager, how the team collectively deal with a loss. I think that's actually, in adversity, is when we see the real men step up, right? So I feel like that's going to be a test for them. So, of course.
Yeah, listen, I completely agree. I think what we've got to get out of the mindset as football fans is just because you keep your feet on the ground doesn't mean you can't enjoy it, right? It doesn't have to be all or nothing. And this is what these all or nothing programs have kind of ruined things. It's like, you are either the world's best or you are shit. What about all this in here?
Yeah, no, that's right.
And it's the same when you're grading players. Like, I get in trouble all the time, as you know. If I dare to say a player isn't world class, oh, you don't rate them. No. There are many players I rate that I don't think are world class, right? Look, I think it's been a great start. I'll even go as far to say this. Imagine you beat Sheffield United, Liverpool and Arsenal. Now, it's a long shot. Let's be really, really honest. It's a long shot to get 9 points from the next 9. If you do, cool. Then I get it. Then I think people will start going, hang on, that's now 7 games. No one's beaten us. You know, we've beaten Man United, Liverpool and Arsenal. Cool. We can do some bits. But equally, flip side to that, imagine you lose to Arsenal and Liverpool, right? So it's football is always on that knife edge for me. It's always, you're never a couple of games away from being the best and a couple of games away from being the worst. So,
yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. I think that there's that overreaction either way. I'm always saying that. Like, there's always just too much of a big reaction either way. There's not much balance. Everybody's just like all up here or all down here. You're just
I agree.
Just have a bit of balance, you know.
I agree. I mean, listen, I think I see the other day that people were picking their Arsenal Spurs combined 11. I hate when people do that, by the way. And like 7 to 8 of the 11 were Spurs players. And it was like, right, hang on. This is a team that's just finished second, right? Just finished second in the league. They're in the Champions League. They haven't lost in the league as well. Why all of a sudden, because of 4 games of football, do you suddenly go, right, all our players are better than theirs? It's like, you know, you got to keep a balance. You've got to keep a balance.
Yeah, that's right.
But just quickly, I did find this comment interesting. George said, you mean like a mini Carabao Cup meltdown? George, I think the difference with this, George, is first of all, I don't think anyone had a meltdown. I think everyone was just really, not everyone, sorry. I think a lot of people were pissed off because everyone acknowledges that Spurs haven't won a trophy for 15 years. You get to a League Cup when it's one of the only 2 competitions we're in for the year with no Europe midweek. And a lot of people were peed off because we wanted to have a cup run. I don't think it was a meltdown, but I think it's very different to that and to losing a game in the league where you play your best 11. What do you make of it, Mia?
Yeah, I don't think anybody had I never saw anyone have a meltdown. I was critical of Postecoglou, and I feel like that's justified. I don't think that anybody's beyond criticism. So, and I thought to myself, well, we were going to take this seriously because, it seemed like Ange would be the kind of guy that would take it seriously. And from those changes, it appeared to me that wasn't the case. And when we haven't won anything, but then when he's come out and said, well, I want to do a sustained period of winning, then I'm a bit like, that's an interesting take on what happened. But again, it is what it is. I've put it to one side and I'm not having a meltdown over it. I was just disappointed in him. I was just disappointed. No, like when a parent is just disappointed in you. They're not angry. They're disappointed. That's what I kind of felt like about him because I like Ange a lot and I was just a bit disappointed that he made those changes and was so drastic with the changes and it affected us so much. And he didn't change it even at halftime, you know?
I think the key thing here is, again, when it's all or nothing, I think it's okay to be critical of a manager. Doesn't mean you want them out. Doesn't mean you think they're bad. It's okay to be critical. But Henry and I did a video where we were like, why has he done this? Like, what was the point? You know, really disappointed in the manager tonight. And people were like, oh, you never wanted him. You don't deserve it. It was like, whoa, like, we've got into that. And I think that sort of 2023 behavior is summed up by this comment, Mia. I'm unsubscribing because you got to stop pandering to Gooners. I don't know if I've pandered to any Gooners. Haven't I just been calling out the Gooners for being way too over the top?
Yeah.
That's why people leave. Yes, free content, but who wants to listen to a Gooner? KEB, I'm going to say it. I won't make Mia say it. I'll say it. I think you've got a little bit of growing up to do, my friend. It's a football chat show. If you just want to hear all sunshine and rainbows and don't want to debate with fans from other clubs, I think that's a really, real shame. I think that's very childish. But hey, if you unsubscribe, and that person has just unsubscribed, absolutely brilliant. This is the internet, Mia. This is what we're dealing with.
I know. I had about 7 people unsubscribe to me in like a couple of days. I was like, okay, people don't want to listen to what I've got to say, then cool, man.
Yeah.
Cool.
George, I'm gonna argue it. Not a meltdown. George, you're a grown man. Come on. People can be critical and emotional after their club have just thrown away a competition without it being a meltdown, right? I don't get this. Are we at the stage, Mia, I'll ask you, are we at the stage now where adults and football fans can't even have an opinion without it being called a meltdown? Like, this never used to be a thing.
I think it's a social media age. I know, like, again, I'm going to sound like an old person, but before we had no social media, right? So we used to just talk about it with our friends who supported the teams.
Right.
So we just used to have to talk about it. But now it's like everything's either a meltdown or, it's very dramatic because it's all this like social media age, isn't it? Really, that's, I feel like, they sort of ruined it in some sort of way for people who just have opinions, man. It's just opinions, just like you would down the pub with your mates when you're chatting about football. Is it not any different?
No, absolutely. Listen, I love going to the pub, having a chat with my mates, and if I say something, they don't go, "Oh, it's a meltdown." I find it really childish. And George,
do you know what?
George, sorry, I hope you're not calling me Rich. I'm really hoping you're responding to someone in the chat. You don't call me Rich. No one calls me Rich. And second of all, you can have your opinion. I know mine. I know Mia's annoyance that it wasn't a meltdown. Mine wasn't. Mine was come on, wanted to win a trophy. What are you doing, man? It was more of a disappointment. The same way that when we batter Burnley, I give him his dues. That's not a meltdown. Or what's the opposite to a meltdown?
Don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, just I honestly worry for football fans. No, George, sorry. No, sorry, Bear, sorry. Listen, this isn't about opinions. You can't tell me I had a meltdown because I was disappointed the manager threw away a cup game. That's not an opinion. You can't tell me I had a meltdown. I didn't. I literally said, come on, man, we are Spurs. We're not in Europe. And Mia, this is the thing we had with this at the weekend. Every Spurs fan during the summer was saying, right, we've got no Europe this year. Yeah, we want cup runs. We play once a week. Put your best team out. He doesn't. And then what happens is, unfortunately, people back it. That's fine. People then back the decisions he made. But then everyone else is wrong for having a meltdown. I wish we had some ambition in the fan base. I feel we're so nice. It's like, oh, you've had a meltdown. You've had a meltdown. Oh,
Joe, what I associate a meltdown with is I've got a son, my eldest son, who's autistic. So when he was younger, and he still does it sometimes now when he's older, he has these meltdowns, emotional meltdowns, where he gets very, very upset because he's not understanding the way he feels, or he can get very emotional and upset. To me, that's a meltdown. I've seen plenty of meltdowns especially when he was younger. What I was talking about was most definitely not a meltdown. What you were saying was most definitely not an emotional breakdown, because a meltdown to me is like emotional breakdown when you just can't cope with the emotion and you're overcome. And it's like, that's not it.
Listen, like, people in the chat, come on, this has been a really nice show, right? This has been a really nice show. Guys and girls, if you are going to have debates with Arsenal fans in the chat and you feel the need to unsubscribe to the host because of that, I mean, I might as well pack up my YouTube channel, Mia, because otherwise everyone's going to get offended by every time another fan from a club comes in here. They're going to unsubscribe. It's madness.
Yeah.
I've not known. Go on, sorry.
I've not really seen that from other, there's fans that have like loads of different people in their chat. You can't say we can't have you in here because you support another team. Just either ignore them. Don't talk to them if you don't want to talk to them. Just, you know what I mean?
Oh, do you know what? I go into work with the Big Six and with the Football Terrace and with Matisse and these people. They have fans from all the channels just like bantering each other in the chat the whole way through. And yet if it happens in here, it's I'm unsubscribing. I'm not subscribing.
Don't worry about it. People, they're going to,
I haven't seen any guests. I haven't seen any Arsenal fans come on here and knock us. Angus didn't say anything bad about us. I don't know, man. Our fans, as I said, I'll say this before, our fans, This is the mentality. The mentality is you have a go at a manager for a bad decision, it's a meltdown, right? You listen to other fans' opinions that might not be nice about your club, I'm unsubscribing. Our fans aren't ready to be a big club. Like we literally would not cope with being a club that have pressure on us and have to succeed every year. Look at our fans.
Do you know how many times me and my brother, we disagree and we never say, oh, you're having a meltdown about it. It's really funny because me and him talk for hours about Tottenham. We talk on so much about Tottenham, like on, you know, a adult level where we can disagree. He disagrees with me. That's cool. But, you know, we don't go around saying, oh, you're having a meltdown about it or you're having a meltdown. And he's got friends more than me because obviously about amongst the men they've supported more like different teams and stuff, but yeah, he's got friends from all different clubs that they talk about football, and he always has had different mates from different clubs, and they've never just been disrespectful to each other. They just chat football, innit, and have a joke.
Oh God, you should see some of the WhatsApp groups I'm in with, not with our Spurs lot, but with all my mates. Like, it is brutal. It is absolutely brutal.
Honestly, I know what they can be like, brutal. My brother tells me how brutal they can be. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And if anyone doesn't think I stick up for Spurs enough, by the way, yeah, people do need to go and watch London Football Carnage on Matisse's channel, where it was literally an hour of me defending Tottenham Hotspur against West Ham.
To be honest, I couldn't understand. He was sort of going around in circles with his point. I was a bit like, yeah. But yeah,
it's cool. I love it though, right? Listen, Lawless loves his club. He is so passionate about his club. The funny thing is as well, right? Like when we're talking about meltdowns, I truly find it hilarious. The moment Spurs got knocked out to Fulham, my mates in my friends' WhatsApp group, like my friends from school, like that you've grown up with, like people who are the best man at your wedding, that sort of stuff. Like, Savva, you told us Spurs would concentrate on trophies this year. You were happy not being in Europe because it meant that you played once a week and you could go full strength in the cups. I'm sitting there going, yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm embarrassed. But then you get fans going, oh, don't worry. Ange made it, he did what he thought was right. You're like, oh no, it was, oh.
Do you know what? The thing is that a lot of fans want to give banter, but they're not willing to take the banter back, right? That's the problem. It's like, see me, I'll banter them. I'll banter Chelsea fans. I don't care. I'm shameless, and Arsenal fans, like I did with TJ. Do you know what I'm saying? I've got absolutely zero shame. But when he banters me back, I'm like, cool, that's cool. Because obviously, if I'm going to give it, I've got to obviously accept I'm going to get bantered back.
Let's be honest, right? This week of all weeks, this is what it is, right? Spurs Arsenal. Get Sheffield United out of the way. It's Spurs Arsenal, right? All week it's going to be, we're going to beat you. We're going to beat you. Saka's crap. Son's crap. Van der Ven's crap. Saliba's crap. Whoever loses needs to take that on the chin. Whoever loses is going to have to go, oh God, and it's bad.
Again, do you think it's an age thing? I don't want to keep bringing it back to that because the thing is, don't forget, me and you have gone through bad times. We've had to literally, we wear the bell of shame supporting Tottenham. We used to whisper about Tottenham because we didn't want anyone to know that we supported Tottenham. I used to have a boy in primary school who used to sit next to me and we used to whisper about Tottenham. You support Tottenham, I support Tottenham, so we talk about Tottenham. But we didn't want no one else to hear us because they'd be like, you're crap. You're absolutely crap. So we'd be like, yeah, we don't really want to talk about it in public. So, you learn, don't you, to kind of take it on the chin because you're a bit like, do you know what? We've had so many years of banter. It's a bit like, yeah, it is what it is. Do you know what I'm saying? How many times have Arsenal smashed us, beat us? You take it. It hurts. It hurts for a little bit and then you just move on.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Listen, Steph ACM has absolutely nailed it. To me, this was never a Spurs channel. It was rebranded to Football Heritage TV, so it's for all fans. Somebody gets it. Just the creator, this guy, this big Greek-nosed guy, follows Spurs. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, listen, I do you know what? I try to be inclusive, Mia. I try and let fans on from all channels. I think it's healthy. I think otherwise, if you live in a bubble of Tottenham are great, Tottenham are great, Tottenham are great, Tottenham are great, doesn't it become a bit of a bore? Like a bit of a bore. So
do you know what? up for listening to people I disagree with. I actually listen to a lot of channels that I disagree with people because I like to hear their argument and how they argue it. If they're like being logical with their points, I like to listen to them and understand where they're coming from. So I find it quite interesting to see.
Oh, for sure. Listen, I watch a lot of the Spurs content creators. Some of them I watch and go, oh, God, that's a bad take. Others you watch and go, yeah, completely agree. But I think it's important. Like, I've never known a generation like this. Like, I'm unsubscribing because an Arsenal fan said something that hurt my feelings. What could they have said that hurt your feelings? What? Sonny's not as good as you think he is. Oh, no, I can't believe these Arsenal fans are saying it. Just call Saka crap.
I can't believe how people cope in the real world if this is how they behave on YouTube.
It's madness. I've had. Do you know, we started the show and we got like 5 or 6 subscribers, and then like 4 people unsubscribed, like because I let an Arsenal fan on. It's like absolutely mental. Big up. I am going to end the show in about 5 minutes, so Mia, feel free to stick around for the last 5 minutes. Top Gooner has said the jersey sucks, man. Not gonna lie, get out ASAP. I have no. Is he talking about the about Yanni who I had on? Listen, keep putting your money in, Top Gooner. It's all good, my friend. Big up to you. I love the
way that Stu's watching you. He's like, I'm keeping an eye on you. So cute.
I love him to bits. If there's a fire in my house, I'm picking him up and carrying him out before my wife. Just so you know.
Lucky she don't watch you, eh?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. She's on a train on the way home from London, so she's definitely not watching me. Big up as well. Anna Dawes in the chat has said, when you can't have a debate about football, with like-minded fans, that's called a shit show. Everyone must over-dramatize. Why? We can all have opinions. We don't have to agree. Listen, Anna, big up. Thanks for the super chat. And as always, love those dogs. They look absolutely beautiful. Thank you for that. I completely agree. I think that, listen, do you know what I love? I've always prided myself, Mia, on. I always want to try and find some balance when I'm talking about other clubs as well. So when I did a video earlier, I'm not sure if you said it, did a video about can Spurs finish above Arsenal? And I tried to find reasons why we can, but also reasons why we can't. And you know, try and keep it level-headed. Unfortunately, so many people that are on, like, that watch YouTube and watch Insta and watch Facebook channels and stuff, everything is so biased about their own club that you don't actually end up having a proper football conversation. What you then end up having is you're not a proper fan conversation because you've dared say that we might not win something, or you dared say that we might not beat Arsenal. And I find it mind-blowing at my age that this is the thing.
Yeah, do you know what? It's almost like they've got no argument. So what they'll do is just say, you don't know ball, or you don't support the club, go support another club. And it's just like honestly, it's silly. Just try and argue a point. That's what frustrates me sometimes. See, when I watch people, I shout at my phone because it frustrates me because they're just being so illogical in my mind. I'm just like, there's no logic to your argument, and it drives me bonkers because I'm just like, I want to debate people like that because I know that even if maybe my opinion isn't everybody's opinion, isn't everyone's cup of tea, but at least I can argue my points when I do argue them. So it drives me bonkers when people are so illogical and then they turn around and go, you don't know ball, or you don't support Tottenham. You're like, oh my God, what is this? That ain't an argument, is it? That's not an argument at all. It's just like at the end of an argument, I've seen so many people do it. My brother sends me screenshots of people on Twitter because he's on Twitter, I'm not. And he turns around and people go at the end, oh, you're ugly or you're stupid. It's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. I thought we were talking about football. Like, yeah, listen, people come on and the first thing they'll say is like, look at like Henry look at Henry's stupid hat. Look at Savva's hair. Look at the T-shirt you're wearing. Look at this. Like, hang on. I thought we were talking about football. Like, I didn't think we were talking about all this personal stuff. But hey, it is what it is. We are going to end in a couple of minutes. We just had another person unsubscribe. It's been a very interesting show.
You know what I will say as well about Savva is that me and him don't agree on everything, but we always respectfully disagree. We'll argue our points, but we never, ever get personal with each other. I've never been personal towards him. He's never been personal towards me when we have disagreed. Like it's just absolutely, we argue our points like grown-ups, right? We disagree on some stuff. We agree actually on a lot of stuff, but the stuff we disagree on, we sometimes walk away and just go, we agree to disagree. We're coming at it from different sides of the same coin, almost probably, but we just agree to disagree, you know?
Do you know the funny thing I've learned as well is most football debates, there's a lot of the time, there's never ever a conclusion to them either.
No.
Like, for example, when we have these debates, like Arsenal fans and Spurs fans want to have this debate about, oh my God, who's the better defender? Is it Romero or Saliba? Just for example, please don't all start talking about it. But how is there ever a definitive way to tell now or in 2 years or in 5 years? What's the, you know what I mean? What's the metric?
Yeah.
Who makes that decision? But I did see a comment I like. By the way, we are going to end the show in about 120 seconds. Please, can I ask for 3 or 4 of you kindly that we've just lost 3 or 4 subs for snowflakes that are scared of debate. Could 3 or 4 of you please show me that there are people that actually like the content because you're here watching it, and smash that subscribe button. That would be really, really great if in the next minute 3 or 4 of you could. This comment here was Hakuna Matata saying, I didn't hear your opinion on Arsenal, but do you genuinely believe you will finish above us? Hakuna Matata, what I would say is go and watch my video today entitled Tottenham Will Finish Above Arsenal. Now, the reason I tell people to watch it is because the title of the show is in the context of the show. So watch it. It's not my opinions. Watch the video and you will see what I say. I think I'm very split on this. I think I'm very level-headed about all the different aspects of the two clubs. But Mia, listen, thank you so much for coming on. I really do appreciate it.
No worries.
And it's been great fun having you on. Big up to all the other people that have come on. I think we've had, oh my God, can I remember this? We have had, no, I'm never, ever going to remember everyone that's been on. I'm so sorry. But
that's
big
what
up
happens when you get old. You forget really easy.
Oh, I was about to go through them and was like, no, I can't. Thank you to the 2 people that did just subscribe back. Please get over to Mia. Mia, where can people find you? What's your content all about?
Over at Spurs Between the Lines, I do regular content. I do previews and reviews. I've also done like a mini series on the defence, midfield and attack. Yeah, I just do regular content really. All to do with Tottenham. I am a Tottenham based content, but I welcome all fans. As long as you keep it nice and respectful, that's all good with me. I'm happy to have a debate. Like I say, I'll happily banter with anybody.
Absolutely. So please get over there and check out Spurs Between the Lines. Mia's a very good creator, just very honest. No histrionics, no drama, just says what she thinks and argues her point really, really well. So thanks for coming on. Big up to everyone in the chat, whether you're Arsenal, whether you're, I mean, we've got Man United in the house now as well. Where did I see? I saw we've got AC Milan in the house. We've got Spurs in the house. I've seen Chelsea fans in the house. I've seen Man United fans in the house. Big up. Thank you very much. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow for a Friday morning chat with Savva. Don't forget, I've got the live watch along on Saturday at 2 p.m. for Spurs Sheffield United, followed by a live fan call-in show after the match at 5:30. So thank you very much. Take care. And as always, in case you didn't know who I support, come on, you Spurs.